There is a Shopify brand that built itself to around $7 million a year at its peak, selling beard oil. Beard oil is not a special product. You can buy it almost anywhere. What's special is what happens after someone hands this brand their email address. They have been emailing their list several times a week for years, and almost none of those emails offered a discount. Most stores would have burned their list to the ground doing this. This brand turned it into their most durable sales channel. So in this video, we're going deep on their email machine from the second you sign up to the campaigns that keep people opening year after year. And stick around because I will show you the exact email playbook they run every single time they launch a product, the system that lets them launch product after product without ever running a side-wide sale. Plus a bonus at the end, a March Madness style bracket for beards, an engagement campaign almost nobody in e-commerce copies. Now, why would you care about how a beard company writes their newsletter? Because email is one channel you actually own. No algorithm changes, no rising ad costs, and this brand has been running theirs longer and more consistently than almost anyone on Shopify, which makes it one of the best case studies you will find. We're obviously talking about Beardbrand. Reportedly, they peaked at around $7 million a year back in 2021, and today the store still pulls 221,000 visits a month, trending up 8%. And Beardbrand came to be when Eric Bandholz quit his corporate job as a financial advisor in 2012, partially because the bank didn't love his beard. He didn't launch any products right away. He started by building an audience first, a YouTube channel and a blog called Urban Birdsman, and only added products once the community existed. In 2014, he pitched Shark Tank with $800,000 in sales over 17 months, and all 5 sharks have passed. So he kept the company bootstrapped ever since under the tagline, "Keep on growing." In interviews, Bandholz said that the brand hit $100,000 a month within its first year, and the growth accelerated after the Shark Tank episode aired, even without a deal. 13 years later, this is one of the longest running bootstrap brands on Shopify. And what impressed me the most is not the age, but the discipline. 3 or more emails a week for years, and almost none of them offering a discount. Most brands would have killed their list with this strategy. Beardbrand made it their strongest channel. But they don't do everything right. Stick around because there is one thing that this store gets wrong that is probably costing them real money. Beardbrand is as literal as naming gets, and that is the point. They claim the whole category in one word. And the tagline "Keep on growing" works twice. It's beard advice and a life philosophy at the same time, and it carries into their email sign-off, so every message ends on brand without any extra effort. If you watch my Loop earplugs teardown, you know I kept the email section short there because there was barely anything to analyze. Beardbrand is the exact opposite. The email program is the story, and it starts with how they get your address in the first place. Most stores hit you with a discount pop-up within 3 seconds. Beardbrand doesn't do that. Their main capturing mechanic is a quiz. You answer a few questions, get a style profile with product recommendations, and leave your email to see the results. Okay, but what happens when someone actually signs up? Now, their first email, honestly, let me down. Their first email is a double opt-in confirmation, confirm you're not a robot. One button, no warmth, no value, and on that one button, the word receive is misspelled. Remember that because it's important later. Here's the thing though, once you pass that door, the welcome sequence behind it is one of the best I've seen. It's a multi-day beard bootcamp. Instead of pushing products, they teach you how to trim, how to wash, how to style, one topic per email. According to FuelMade, this education-first welcome flow historically converted up to 9% of new subscribers into customers. The industry average is around 2.7%, so this is 3 times better. They do use an incentive, just not upfront. At the 23rd hour mark, a $30 gift card email lands right when the interest is at its highest before the excitement fades. Here's how you copy this for your own store. 60 seconds, that's all it takes. To set this up, I'm gonna use Sendwheel. Once installed, follow the step-by-step guide until you get to the Welcome Custom Flow. Once you click on Set Up Welcome Flow, you will see this screen. The first email is sent immediately, we'll leave that as it is. The second we want to send after 1 day, and the third we want to send after 2 days. You can also set 12 hours and 24 hours if you want. On my store I'm selling leather sofas and chairs, so I'm going to start with this as my first email. Here I welcome and I educate on how to spot a durable sofa, and then I invite them to see how we make ours. In my second email, I try to make them envision owning the sofas and guide them on how to choose one. And in the third one, I give them an incentive of $150 off and free white glove delivery. This is the framework, but you can build around it by adding more sections, and when done, you can test and see how your emails look. Once you're done, you can set the flow to active and it will run on autopilot. If you want, you can choose and customize other flows. The app is really intuitive and easy to use. Sendwheel is still free to install from the Shopify App Store. The link is in the description. And keep this welcome flow in mind because I'm gonna come back to it later. Now the send schedule. Over the last 90 days, Beardbrand sent 42 campaigns. That is a steady 3.3 emails per week with no dead gaps. The subject lines lean on curiosity and humor. Almost no emojis are used and almost no discount talk unless they are launching something. Think about what that trains the reader to do when almost every email is worth opening on its own. And when discounts are rare, a discount actually means something. In a bit I will tell you which parts of this you can copy at your size and which parts you should not even try. But first, the launch playbook I promised you at the start. Every time Beardbrand launches a product, the same email chain shows up. 3 to 5 emails. First the story tease, the problem behind the product and no buy link yet. Then pre-launch goes live, the list gets early access at a special price. Then one final email, last day to get it, pure urgency. And it works. The list gets first shot at everything before the general public even sees it. That's the trick. Other stores run side-wide sales to create urgency. Beardbrand gets it from launches instead, so the rest of the year nothing is ever discounted. The only way to get a deal from Beardbrand is to be on the list when something new drops. So the list is never trained to wait for a discount, it's trained to act at a launch. If you only steal one thing from this video, steal this. Reward your list for showing up early instead of teaching them to wait for sales. On top of the launches, they send a monthly best of email, a roundup of their best content for that month. So even in months with no launch, the list still gets something worth opening. Now the thing that they get wrong, the one I mentioned earlier. Their email system is strong, but the very first thing a new subscriber sees is broken. Think about what a brand new subscriber experiences. Before any value arrives, they hit a confirmation email that treats them like a robot with a typo on the main button. That is the first impression from a brand famous for content quality. And it's not a 1 week sleep. The welcome flow was last updated 9 months ago. So my conclusion is that nobody is watching that front door. So they work hard to get people on the list and then lose them at the very first email. The fix is not complicated either. The welcome flow that I showed how to build earlier, value first, zero friction, does exactly this job. And if a 13-year-old brand can let this slip, so can you. Walk through your own sign up every few months and make sure everything is right. So can you actually copy what Beardbrand does at your size? Most of it, yes. The capture, the welcome flow, the launch flow, none of those need a big team. The one thing that you should not copy on day one is the 3 email per week rhythm. That only works because Beardbrand has 13 years of content muscle behind it. Start with 1 good email a week and earn your way up from there. Do you remember the brand tournament I mentioned at the start? Here it is. Every March, Beardbrand runs a beard bracket, March Madness style. Beard styles go head to head, the list votes each round, and the emails basically write themselves for weeks. No discount, no product push, and people open and click because it's fun. Almost nobody in e-commerce runs engagement campaigns like this, which is exactly why it stands out in a crowded inbox. To me, Beardbrand email program stands on 2 big strengths and 1 warning. The strengths, they earn attention instead of renting it, and they protect their pricing by rewarding early action instead of discounting late. The warning, even great machine rusts if nobody checks it once in a while. Which brings us to the lessons. Lesson number 1, capture with value. A discount pop-up attracts bargain hunters, and offer people actually want attracts readers. What you can do right now is to replace your bare sign-up form with a quiz or a genuinely useful offer. Lesson number 2, teach before you sell. That education welcome flow converted at a triple the benchmark because trust arrives before the pitch. What you can do here is to build a 3-email welcome flow, value immediately, education on day 2, and the incentive around the 24-hour mark. Lesson number 3, launch instead of discounting. Pre-launch pricing gives your list a reason to buy now without training them to wait for sales later. If you want to implement this, you can copy the same email flow for your next product launch. Tell the story, open early access, send a last call email. Now I'm curious, would you email your list 3 times a week if you were never allowed to offer a discount? Tell me in the comments. What would you send? If this breakdown gave you something you can use, subscribe because the next teardown is already in the works, and I think you'll be interested in seeing this video next. Click it and I'll see you there.